But it was kind of a long job to get educated enough, particularly in aerodynamics, to design a reasonable airplane.
Well, how did you, I guess that you have received a wonderful education later on, but how did you teach yourself enough to where you could actually build an aircraft? Did you study books? And
I got a hold of two very good textbooks, one by Monteith and another one by Deal, which was called Engineer and Aerodynamics, and they were both very good books. But in those days, you could get reports from the NACA, National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, which were published by the government printing office for 50 cents a report. So those were pretty helpful, but at that time I really didn't have much of a mathematical background.
you had to learn some math as well, huh?
Well, I think I ultimately got a lot of math when I went to, I first went to the University of Maine, and then, of course, when I went to MIT, I got plenty of mathematics there.
Well, tell us about, did you build your aircraft before you went off to MIT?
Yeah, I started to design it when I was 16, and it took me a long while to build it, about 5 years, designing, building it. And I think it was a pretty conventional airplane because I had collected information on other light planes. But I think the only thing that kind of made it important was that I had only the simplest tools to work with. I had no table saw, I had no electric drill. I just had old-fashioned hand tools. And since I had never experienced power tools, I didn't think anything about it. I just went to work. But it did take me a long while. I think I put in well over 2,000 hours to build this thing over a period of about 5 years.
So describe the aircraft to us.
Well, the aircraft, my initial design was a low-wing, wire-braced airplane, and I was originally thinking of using an Excelsior motorcycle engine to which I had adapted a propeller. But I soon realized that 15 horsepower, it's possible to build an airplane around 15 horsepower, but it's pretty marginal. So later, toward the end of the 5 years, I did manage to get a hold of a Henderson Heath conversion, which I picked up as secondhand. I think I paid $40 for that, so that was a pretty nice little engine.
And what was this horsepower?
It was 27 horsepower, I think at about 1,800 RPM.
So you felt a lot better. You had a lot more power to get yourself off the ground.
Yeah, actually the airplane I built, one thing I knew that I had to do was to keep the weight down. And it was not a steel tube airplane. You know, I didn't know how to weld or anything, so it was an all-wood airplane, braced with wires and so forth. And when I finally flew it, it weighed 475 pounds with me in it. I weighed about 120 pounds, and the engine weighed over 100, so you can see it was a fairly light airplane.
So it was an early ultralight.
It was, I suppose now it would be considered to be an ultralight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.